Thank you for watching us on YouTube. But did you know that if you're on the go, you can get the full show as a podcast now? You can get our morning breakdown of the most important topics facing our country, news not being covered by the mainstream media, interviews with change-making progressives, and info on what you can actually do about all this. Search for The Damage Report on your favorite podcast app and subscribe so you know when new episodes are ready to go. So we have the new accusations, obviously, that Kavanaugh had been involved in gang rapes in college. Now we have Trump's response to that. Is he going to maybe like step back a little bit? Like, do I really want to tie my reputation to someone who might have been gang raping people? No, he tweeted this. The Democrats are playing a high-level con game in their vicious effort to destroy a fine person. It is called the politics of destruction. Behind the scene, the Dems are laughing. Pray for Brett Kavanaugh and his family. So this is a con game.
So now we're going to pray. Like, first off, Donald Trump has prayed for no one ever in his life. He doesn't know what that means.
No, he has never.
Number two, he got the Democrats laughing confused with the UN General Assembly, because that's who was laughing yesterday at him. So again, now that he's unleashed, we talked about that when the first accusations came out and how he had this odd restraint that Donald Trump doesn't have ever on anything, and he finally let loose. Once he let loose, it's just, there's no more restraint. You would think he'd go back to reeling it in. After this third accusation comes out, then you go, no, I'm gonna stay quiet. Because we're a day from the testimonies, which everyone on your side is so sure it's gonna dispel everything and destroy everything. So much so they've already set the date for Friday to have the vote for his confirmation. So if you're so sure, just be quiet for 2 days. Huh?
Nope. White House aide says that he believes that he needs to take a personal control of the defense of Kavanaugh because Roy Moore wasn't enough to defend Kavanaugh. Now you need, how many accused do you need in the background of the people defending him? But he also said this, Michael Avenatti is a third-rate lawyer who's good at making false accusations like he did on me, just in case anyone forgot that he had been accused of many sexual assaults. And like he's now doing on Judge Brett Kavanaugh. He's just looking for attention and doesn't want people to look at his past record and relationships. A total lowlife. That's a sort of dodge and attempted diversion that he always does.
Normal people, when they see something like that, a statement from Donald Trump, they go, oh yeah, because by the way, I'm not a fan of Michael Avenatti. Let's put that out there. But so when he says something like Avenatti is known to have these false accusations like he did with me, I would go, oh yeah, those false accusations that he had with his client, Stephanie Clifford, am I right, is her real name, and her accusations are with you, which all came out to be true. So when you bring up these accusations, it makes people think about it. His supporters go, oh yeah, whatever it is he said. I'm listening to what he says or reading it and thinking, oh, wait a second, those accusations turned out to be true.
Yeah, the problem is that you're thinking about it. The people he's targeting this message to are not gonna think about it. He's expecting that, I think, at this point. Okay, so I also wanna go to, this is not just tweets coming out, there's also video. Bear in mind as you watch this, Kavanaugh has now been accused of multiple either sexual assaults, attempted rapes, and also gang rape now. Incredibly serious, as serious as it could possibly get. This is what Donald Trump had to say about how he wishes this process had gone down.
Well, I think the Senate, the Republicans could not be nicer in the way they're handling this. They could have pushed it through 2.5 weeks ago, and you wouldn't be talking about it right now, which is frankly what I would have preferred. But they didn't do that. The Republicans could not be nicer, could not be more respectful to the process, certainly could not be more respectful to the woman, and I'm okay with that. I think I might have pushed it forward a lot faster. I know this particular man, Judge Kavanaugh. He's outstanding. You don't find people like this. He's outstanding. He's a gem. He's an absolute gem. And he's been treated very unfairly by the Democrats who are playing a con game. They know what they're doing. It's a con. They go into a back room and they talk with each other and they laugh at what they're getting away with. It's a con game, and that's what they play.
Every word is projection.
It's the same thing. Okay, again, if you have to listen to what he's saying, because he says so much garbage flies out of his mouth. Republicans have been nothing but respectful and bending over backwards for this process, he says. I think he's a Republican. He says the women were drunk, too drunk to have any memory of it. They were drunk anyway, they were drinking. Took too long to come out. It's a con game. There's no support from any corroborating evidence. Her parents weren't good parents. Where's the niceties of this whole process that you said Republicans have out of your own mouth? Is it the rest of Republicans and just not you?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're not going to go too in depth, but Brett Kavanaugh's written testimony says far-fetched and odious claims. They debase our public discourse. They're grotesque and obvious character assassination. All of this stuff. They could not be nicer. By the way, not just in terms of what they say, the process couldn't be nicer. He says that in the middle of a paragraph, the point of which is to say they never should have had a hearing in the first place. They should have just pushed it through, not even heard any of this, let alone all of the other accusations. They're not gonna hear those. It couldn't be nicer. And again, I want to remind, never trust anything that he says. If he says something that seems reasonable or seems like, hey, I actually agree with that, he is going to reverse himself soon because he's now saying they should have just pushed it through. That's what I would have preferred. What did he say on September, was it 18th? He said, we should go through a process because there shouldn't even be a little doubt. So a week ago, he's saying we should have this process. I don't want there to be any doubt. I want it to be fair and clean. Now he's saying they should have just pushed it through and had nothing whatsoever, not even the minimal sort of farce, kangaroo court that they're going to set up tomorrow. They shouldn't even have that. And by the way, in doing that, in shutting down the voices of all of these women and not even hearing their claims and calling them odious and far-fetched, or in the words of Louis Gohmert today, evil, we are being nicer than possible. No one could be nicer than we are when we call them evil, when we call them lying whores and all of that.
Definitely don't want to see them not being nice.
God only knows
we
know what Brett Kavanaugh is like when he's not nice. He gets rapey, unfortunately, when he's not nice. It's 2018. This is after the Me Too movement, and we've had so little progress in terms of moving half the country that they don't even have to pretend to care about the experiences of this woman. This is something that we've come back to 100 times, obviously, but that they can just say that this new woman, she puts her name to it, she puts her face to it. She says that she was gang raped. It's a con game. This is coming from a guy who is an expert on cons, of course. That has been his entire career. We know that. That's probably why his mind instantly goes to that. But they don't even have to pretend to care. It is really amazing how, despite their low popularity, despite the fact that it looks like this election is going to be devastating for them, they feel emboldened to aggressively attack the women, perhaps to a greater extent than they did with Anita Hill. And now they're going to have this female sex crimes prosecutor try to destroy Christine Blasey Ford tomorrow. When we're doing our live coverage. It's not even that they haven't learned anything from those past experiences, that they've apparently learned something, and it's terrible. They've
learned that generally the American society will accept this stuff. This is an indictment of who we are as a country. Again, the whole thing is with the Me Too movement from the beginning. All of these, all of the victims of it that finally came forward, and the people who've gone down, very famous people that have gone down, the reason they did it is because society accepted it and supported this.
Yeah.
So the politicians think the same way. If any of these politicians on this side of the aisle go against what they've always pushed, which is against women and victims, they will see a backlash from their support, their base, like they've never seen before. And they know that. This is more of an indictment on our society and our country and how we've always treated victims of this kind of assault as just, they're lying. Why didn't they do it a long time ago? We're the problem.
Yeah.
It's time for that to change, and then they can.
Yeah, and again, while all of this is happening, obviously there's millions of women out there that have had experiences like this, and they have to watch and see, this is why I didn't come forward, this is why I don't tell anyone now. Look how I would be treated if I ever told anyone about the tragedies that have happened in my life. Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.